pounding yourself out. Brandon Burkart, as you mentioned, 3-0. He's a top prospect in MMA. 20 years old, and you'll see the physical shape of this kid. Everyone wants to see him back in there, but he's doing things the right way. Taking these kickboxing matches, slowly building on all of his skills, and then when he makes that return, he'll be that much better of a striker, that much better of a grappler. And he's got a tough test in front of him here, in that it's an unknown fighter, very hungry to go out there and do it. But Burkart's just on a quest to gain knowledge, and this is another step towards that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, him and Brandon Doherty there, Team Chaos, kind of the killer bees in the MMA ranks, but it's always good to see a young fighter keeping his skills sharp. In the case of Dolph Dana is going to be a couple inches shorter than his opponent. Interesting to see how that factors into our contest here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is brought to you by our friends at Tranquility Construction. This amateur type kickboxing match is set for 3 2-minute rounds in the Aries lightweight division. And now, introducing first, he's fighting out of the blue corner. He steps into the cage tonight at a height of 5 feet, 11 inches tall, having weighed in at 155.4 pounds. He trains with Fit BJJ and he fights out of Alcoa, Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight in the Aries Fight Series page, he makes his amateur debut. I present to you, this is Dolph. And now his opponent across the cage and fighting out of the red corner. He steps into the cage tonight at a height of 6 feet tall, having weighed in at 154.4 pounds. He trains with Team Chaos and he fights out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And tonight in the Aries Fight Series page, he also makes his amateur debut. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, this is Brandon Burkart! Your referee for this fight will be Josh Amato.
All right, we are locked in for our third contest of the evening. Burkart versus Dana. It is underway.
Yeah, Dolph Dana he was locked in during the stare downs as they're announcing him. Never took his eyes off Burkart. And he was here at the arena early. You can see he really got a good warm up. He came in already lathered up and had a sweat on. I mean, he's here for business, but Burkart does look like a weight class up on him. So we'll see if size is going to matter here.
It's funny you say that. Obviously at age 21, we've seen Burkart at Aries Fight Series 15, 21, 28. Ooh, as he lands a nice straight right hand. He really looks filled out.
Does he ever? He just caught him on the end of the right hand. And you see Dolph being a smaller guy, that's what he has to do, is he's got to come forward and be aggressive. But if he allows Burkart to stay at range, and see, you can't stand in front of him because he's got huge power. He's very physically fit. And if he catches you on the end of those strikes, that's when he's going to deliver the most power on you.
I'm liking the pressure here from Dolph Dana.
Yeah, Dana with some nice hooks as well. I like his head movement. I mean, he's a little, you can tell, see how he shifts his head off the center line and lands that right hand? Someone making his debut, but looks like he's, at least spent a decent amount of time training his skills.
Yeah, definitely, and he landed a little foot sweep early. Obviously, he's dealing with the rangy weapons of Burkart, but...
See on that exit as well, left hook over the top, straight right, knee up the middle. Like, he's mixing up all of his weapons very well.
Man, some of those knees are landing right to the sternum, and I think Dolph Dana is affected by that last one. That knee to the sternum looked vicious.
It's just size and power, and Dana's actually doing everything right. He's having a good go. It's just every time Burkart lands on him, you see the damage, you see the effect. Those knees to the body are zapping energy.
Woo. Kind of a desperation right hand, but it definitely found a home as it landed. But right now, Dana is just getting cooked by the knees from the taller fighter.
That one went a little bit low, I think.
There was a couple that were a little low there.
Double D not complaining, though. I mean,
Nope.
He just right back to action. Honestly, I really like what I saw out of him. It's just, if he was fighting at 145 pounds, Oh, boy.
Yeah.
But the tail of the first round was very much so. It's like he's dealing with a big, strong guy. Now, Burkart being that big, having that much muscle, maybe he starts to slow down. Maybe this is where the smaller guy will be able to work his way back into it. But they're not long rounds, and you can't be taking that kind of punishment consecutively round after round. So we'll see the adjustments he makes in round number 2, but fun round to start anyways.
Yeah, young Dolph definitely was dealing with those knees that he's always going to deal with when you fight a guy who's as tall as Burkart. But it looked like he's showing good composure. He's believing in himself. Good shots of Dana there on the stool. He's obviously going to need to make some adjustments. But, you know, the thing with Burkart is, I know, Cody, we're talking about how he is muscular. He's shaking his arms out. We just saw in the first bout of the evening, Greg DuBose, he didn't get tired, you know, and it's kind of indicative. These Team Chaos guys are always in such great shape. Well, round 2 is upon us here, and round 1 was very spirited. Got to believe Burkart probably pulled ahead on the scorecards there with the striking numbers, but...
Yeah, and you should see Burkart with 6-ounce gloves on. I mean, he's hitting with 10-ounce boxing gloves, 12-ounce boxing gloves, and you see the power this guy can generate when he lands.
Yeah, he's a couple aggressive step-in knees there from Burkart.
And those knees to the body, I think, really did affect Dolph in the first round. It just kind of demoralizes him a little bit. Every time he clinches up with the bigger man, he's forced to take some of that abuse inside the clinch. Mouthpiece.
Hey, that'll happen sometimes, especially with the debut. You know, it's a new...
It's a new experience. You can train all day long. You can hard spar all day long. But yeah, when you got the bright lights and a hot crowd and an opponent that's just giving you everything you can handle, sometimes it pops out. And we don't know if he's got a boiler bite mouth guard or a custom mouthpiece from a dentist.
Well, there you go.
But I'm glad it's back in because Burkart's not playing around. I mean, he's got vicious intentions. He lands very, very heavy. You can't slow down against this guy, and you can't drop your hands. One of these is going to sneak through at some point, Dylan.
The knees are accumulating. The body damage that Dana is sustaining here is really significant.
Yeah, they're going to get an 8 count here, I think. Oh, maybe not. Oh, it was a low blow. Okay, well, you know what? It's a fair call. The referee obviously saw it better than we did, but there's been a lot of knees to the body.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to stray low. It looked like a few did. And, yeah, in this instance, I have no doubt about it that one was obviously caught him. Unintentional, of course unintentional, but we got an unintentional groin strike for a temporary pause.
I thought Burkart might have landed a low knee or 2 at the end of round 1. And then you factor in the fact that a lot of the knees aren't low and that they're just extremely damaging blows to the body of Dolph Dana. Dana's got to be pretty damaged to the body, and then to take a low blow, he's got to be feeling it here.
Yeah, and, you know, people at home might be thinking, we'll take the full 5 minutes and we'll see how long he takes. But you don't get a recovery like that. When your body's seriously hurt, the more time you take off, you're still gasping for wind. If anything, you see Burkart's exerted a lot of energy. He's getting this time to rest and recovery as well.
Yeah.
You know, hands over the cage. His coach is within speaking distance. I don't know if they're shouting advice over to him, but, you know, he just got to calm down. There's only half a round left in the second. He won the first. Get out of this one, and there's just one round to play with. So,
ladies and gentlemen, we are on a 5-minute injury timeout. A 5-minute injury timeout.
You mentioned that it's rare you see somebody take the full 5, and I don't know that we will. Obviously, Dana has the right should he want to do that. The highest level in the sport last week, you saw Henry Cejudo took the 5, and it probably wasn't enough because that fight ended up being stopped moments after. So we'll see how this all unfolds here in just a moment or two.
Yeah, and that's the difficult part about fouls in general. I mean, you saw at the end of the first round, certainly possible that Brendan Burkart did land an unintentional low blow. Had he got a warning there, then this now makes it the second time.
Yep.
And so now damage has been done. You can't avoid the fact that Dolph's game's kind of thrown off a little bit, you know. Yeah, the fight wasn't going in his direction, but this does change everything. He's now taking 5 minutes. He's now cooling off. It just changes the dynamic of the round. Now, you take a point away. One, that really puts the onus on Burkart to not land those knees low, but also it changes the face of the game.
Yep. And you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube is essentially the lesson there with an injury, right? It still happened. Burkart didn't lose a point, and he looks like he took that time to recover because here comes Brandon Burkart with some power strikes. Dana's corner calling for an uppercut. They think that's going to be a weapon that Burkart's going to lean on to.
could be, but just, you know, he's really got to focus on keeping his hands up right now, because the more these knees to the body hit him, he's starting to naturally drop his hands low to protect the body. And that's when you're going to have Burkart come over the top with something, either an overhand right, or maybe he can pull his head into a clinch strike. Kind of been a weird back and like there's a lot of stop and stalling. There hasn't been a great flow to the fight.
Josh Amato's got his hands full in this contest.
Oh, that was a beautiful knee up the middle. I'll tell you what, Dolph is a tough fighter because he's taken some absolutely brutalizing shots to the body. You can just see in his body language and the look on his face, like he is demoralized for sure, but you know, he's a real fighter. He's not looking for a way out. A lot of guys could have just taken one of those knees and taken a knee, and that would have been the end of it. A lot of those guys could have, you know, just mentally checked out for 2 seconds and the ref would have waved it off. But, you know, he keeps trying to survive these bad positions, but it's been a lot of survival through 2 rounds.
And the other half of this contest, right, Brandon Burkart already 3-0 in mixed martial arts. I commented that he looks more filled out than we've ever seen him. You said he looks like maybe he, you know, is a weight class larger than Dolph Dana. Brandon Burkart right now, his stock is rising in my opinion with what the striking acumen he's showing. You know he's an accredited grappler. This looks to be maybe the best version of him that we've ever seen.
Yeah, and this is why it's good that he's taking these kind of experiences in these kind of fights.
Oh, Rampage the Ram is in the house. Oh, my gosh.
Shout out to Rampage.
Rampage, I don't know where you've been. He's been out to pasture, I suppose. It's been a couple of events since we've seen him, but this is a record crowd. This is a star-studded event. Fans, if you aren't at the world-famous Cotton Eye Joe, you're watching at home on Spectation Sports. You know, we hope you join us on Spectation. We love having you here for the prelims, the stream. You got to get to the Joe for one of these. You'll see Rampage. You got UFC fighters in the house. And then obviously the great action, like a fight between Dolph Dana and Brandon Burkart. Ooh, that was the best strike of the fight for Dana.
And that's why I talk about heart. I mean, at the end of the second round, it looks like the tide is not going in his favor, and he just comes out guns a-blazing in this third. This is his chance. This is his chance to change everything. He either needs a finish or he's going to need a knockdown, and he's fighting like that. Came forward, slinging right hands, but Burkart's not one to take a step back, so you know there's going to be a lot of damage accrued on both sides this round.
Man, Dana landed a nice body kick. He got a couple punches get through.
That right hand, straight right down the pipe, has been an excellent weapon so far for Burkart. And with a half a round still left to go, I mean, this is the chance for Burkart to really put the exclamation point on it. Oh, beautiful left hook by Dana.
Man, young Dolph is fighting, man. Young Dolph is tough as nails.
You know what? There's not a whole lot of guys named Dolph that aren't tough, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's just got that fighting spirit in him. And again, I mean, this is his first fight taking on a guy. Oh, another low blow.
Well, they're even now, I suppose.
It could be 2-1. It could be 2-1 on low blows, but all the same, it's just another thing that changes the flow.
With the
you see Dolph. He's tired. He's spent. I mean, now he's the one getting the break. So,
man, how big does that you know, no point, right? Because this is Dana's best round of the fight. Whether he's winning it or not, I don't know. But if there's a point in that second round, you know, maybe we have a pathway to a draw. Obviously, round 1 I felt like was pretty clear cut for Brandon Burkart. Round 2, pretty clear cut for Burkart, but obviously the low blows. And now here we are in round 3. Dana fighting back valiantly. Burkart looks to be pretty badly affected from this one.
Yeah, oftentimes when you're tired, it's like that's when you throw one, and it's, I wouldn't say sloppy, just your body is tired, your muscles are aching, the knee just doesn't go as high as you wanted it to, it strays low.
Well, just caught a wry smile from cutman Mark Laws. You know, normally when there's injury timeouts, it's related to a cut. This is nothing he's going to be involved with, a couple of low blows. They're going to have to take care of that on their own. We are about a minute away from this one reaching its conclusion, 49 seconds to be exact.
Yeah, and it's going to be action-packed last 30 seconds here because, you know, both guys do want to, you know, send that parting message to the crowd that, hey, I came here to fight and I did everything that was expected from me. I think solid performance for both guys, but you always want to be a winner. And for Burkart, he's done such a good job that he wants to finish up strong. Woo! And for Dolph, he wants to show everybody, hey, I'm still in this thing.
Yeah, really, really strong finish to the fight for Dolph Dana. We've got about 20 seconds left to work. Oh, man, Burkart now starting to get a little wild there.
Yeah, it's been that kind of fight. Two human tornadoes. Oh, beautiful right hand by Burkart.
Oh! Man, you put him on skates there for a minute. Hey, great finish to the fight for Dolph Dana.
Absolutely.
A lot of stuff didn't go his way early in this one, but round 3 he came out and gave, the best effort that we saw from him in this one.
Going into this fight, we both know that Brandon Burkart was a good fighter. But now we know that Dolph Dana is a good fighter as well. And again, that's his first fight. I mean, show me this guy when he's got 3-4 fights of his own. Run this thing back, a few years down the road. I think he's got a very bright future. This is not a discouraging experience. Losing is never fun. Losing is never easy. But this is how you build, and this is how you grow, and this is how you take yourself to the next level. This exhaustion that he's feeling, this disappointment that he might feel tonight, all these woulda, coulda, shoulda moments that he maybe could have done things slightly differently. That's all going to fuel the fire to get him back in the gym and to get to that next level. He's got all the skills. He's got heart. He's got the things that you can't teach. Let's get him some experience, get him comfortable, and then we'll really see this kid shine.
20 years old for Dolph Dana, 21 for Brandon Burkart. Brandon Burkart already 3-0 as a mixed martial artist. And I mean, he's been keeping very active. Obviously, he scored wins at Aries Fight Series 15, 21, 28. Very likely about to get his hand raised here in this kickboxing contest. Chaos right now, man, I'll tell you what, that's stable they've got there. The big two with Brandon Doherty and Brandon Burkart. They're going to be getting their hand raised more often than not because, especially seeing Burkart here at age 21 looking like he is really coming into his own. Those rangy weapons through the first 2 rounds were brutal, and it's a credit to Dana that he survived all the way to the judges' scorecards as we await those scorecards. And, taking a little bit of a minute to tally those up. Still to come, we still have one more contest on our Aries Fight Series preliminary stream on Spectation Sports. After that, we will be going straight in to the undercard here for Aries Fight Series 30, culminating in an amateur title fight. There you see the QR code on your screen. Give it a scan. Get signed up at Spectation Sports so you do not miss the undercard, so you do not miss the amateur light heavyweight title fight. And of course, the 4 professional bouts still to come. Betting odds available in those contests courtesy of BetMGM. Co-main event, the Chief Beast, Alexander Johnson, taking on the Big Mac, Cameron Graham. And then the main event this evening, Christian Turner, making his way into Knoxville, Tennessee. Enemy territory, you might say, to take on the long-awaited return of ruthless David Robbins. Very high-level pro fight there for our main event. All right, Lance Green's got the scorecards. We go now for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, following 3 grueling rounds, this decision has gone to your judges' scorecard. Your judges, some say, sees this 30-27. Jay Watson, 30-27. Luke Wilson, scores of 29-28. Your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the red corner, Brandon Burkart.
Well, that's another couple wins racked up for Team Chaos here at Aries Fight